The vast emptiness of space stretched before Taiho's observation vessel as it drifted silently near the asteroid belt. Stars twinkled in the distance, but his attention remained fixed on the blue-green planet that had caught his interest. Earth, as the natives called it, shouldn't have been anything special, just another developing world to catalog and monitor. Taiho rubbed his eyes, fatigue setting in after hours of staring at the holographic displays. The readings made no sense. According to all official records, humans had only recently mastered basic rocket technology. Their first steps into space had been clumsy, inefficient, and exactly what the Confederation expected from a young species. But the energy signatures told a different story. "Computer, run diagnostic sequence 7 again," Taiho ordered, his fingers dancing across the control panel. The artificial gravity shifted slightly as the ship's sensors realigned. New data streamed across his screens, power consumption patterns that dwarfed what should be possible with their supposed level of technology. Heat signatures that appeared and disappeared without explanation. Radiation spikes that suggested particle manipulation far beyond primitive fission reactors. "This can't be right," he muttered, checking the sensor calibration for the 4th time that hour. The equipment was working perfectly. The readings were real. Taiho pulled up the standard classification report for Earth. The images showed primitive combustion vehicles clogging their roads, basic rocket launches that relied on chemical propulsion, and power plants burning fossil fuels. Everything about their visible technology screamed developing civilization. Yet the numbers didn't lie. The power grid readings alone suggested energy manipulation on a scale that should have been impossible for their level of advancement. Taiho had surveyed dozens of worlds, and he'd never seen such a disparity between apparent and actual development. He switched to the thermal imaging display, zooming in on one of Earth's larger cities. The surface infrastructure appeared normal, inefficient, and wasteful, exactly what you'd expect. But deep underground, something was generating enormous amounts of heat, something that didn't show up on any official maps. "Computer, begin recording observation log," Taiho commanded. Date stamp, standard galaxy time 24/57/183. Location, Sol system, observing third planet. He paused, choosing his words carefully. Initial survey has revealed significant anomalies that require further investigation. Energy consumption patterns suggest technological capabilities far exceeding official classification level. The computer chirped in acknowledgement as he continued. Surface observations show expected development markers for a pre-galactic civilization. However, deep scan readings indicate extensive underground facilities and power signatures consistent with advanced particle manipulation technology. Taiho pulled up another display, this one showing global power distribution. Massive amounts of energy were being moved around the planet through channels that shouldn't exist. The humans were either the luckiest species in the galaxy, accidentally stumbling upon advanced technology, or computer, add to log. Working theory. The humans are deliberately concealing their true technological capabilities. Evidence suggests comprehensive planetary-scale effort to maintain appearance of primitive development. His communicator chimed, a priority message from Confederation Command. Taiho's heart skipped a beat as he read the text. Routine survey status update required. Please confirm Earth classification level remains unchanged. Taiho stared at the message for a long moment. His entire career had been built on accurate reporting and careful observation. But this was different. If he reported what he was seeing, it would trigger an immediate investigation. The humans would know they'd been discovered. And something told him they wouldn't appreciate that. "Computer, hold recording," he ordered. The holographic displays cast a soft blue glow across his face as he contemplated his next move. The humans had gone to extraordinary lengths to hide their true nature. But why? What could be so important that an entire species would engage in such elaborate deception? He needed more information before filing his report. The stakes were too high to rush to conclusions. Taiho began programming new scan parameters into the ship's computer, focusing on the strange underground heat signatures. Whatever the humans were hiding, he would find it. But as his ship drifted silently in space, Taiho couldn't shake the feeling that he was poking at something far bigger and potentially more dangerous than a simple technological disparity. The stars continued their eternal dance outside his viewport, indifferent to the mystery unfolding below. On the seemingly primitive planet below, nearly 8 billion humans went about their daily lives, maintaining their carefully crafted illusion of technological infancy. But Taiho had glimpsed behind the curtain, and what he'd seen would change everything. Taiho's observation vessel maintained its position behind Earth's moon, using the natural satellite as cover while he continued his surveillance. The past 2 weeks had only deepened the mystery surrounding the planet below. Every new scan revealed more inconsistencies that made his head spin. He needed a second opinion. After triple-checking the security of his quantum communication channel, Taiho connected with his longtime research partner, Ji-1. "You need to see this," he transmitted, along with his latest sensor data. "I've never seen anything like it in 20 years of planetary surveys." Ji-1's holographic image flickered to life in the ship's communication hub. Her expression was skeptical as she reviewed the readings. "Are you sure your equipment isn't malfunctioning? These energy patterns don't make any sense." "I've checked everything 3 times, Taiho replied, sending another burst of data. "Look at this manufacturing facility in what they call Detroit. On the surface, they're assembling primitive vehicles using combustion engines. But underneath," he highlighted the deep scan readings. Massive power signatures pulsed beneath the facility, showing energy patterns that suggested highly advanced technology. "The quantum fluctuations match what we'd expect from particle manipulation, at least 5 development stages beyond their official classification," Taiho explained. "But they're hiding it all underground." Ji-1 studied the data carefully. Could it be natural phenomena? Some kind of geological activity we haven't encountered before? "Impossible," Taiho said firmly. "These patterns are clearly artificial. Look at the precision, the controlled nature of the energy flows. The humans are deliberately maintaining an appearance of technological infancy while running incredibly advanced operations below the surface." He sent more scans, these ones showing a facility in the middle of a desert. "They call this Area 51, supposedly a primitive aircraft testing site. But my readings show quantum entanglement experiments happening there. They're researching technology that even we're still developing." Ji-1's hologram leaned forward, her interest clearly piqued. "This is extraordinary. But why would they go to such lengths to appear primitive? The resources required to maintain this deception must be enormous." "That's what worries me," Taiho admitted. "They're not just hiding their technology. They're actively creating a false image of their civilization. Every primitive device we see on the surface seems to be part of an elaborate show." He pulled up another scan, this one showing a massive underground complex beneath what appeared to be a simple solar panel farm. "They're even disguising their power generation. These solar panels are just for show. The real power plant is hidden below, using technology we barely understand." "Have you reported this to command?" Ji-1 asked. Taiho shook his head. "Not yet. I needed someone else to verify I wasn't losing my mind first. Besides, if we alert command, they'll send an investigation team. Something tells me we don't want to let the humans know we've seen through their deception." Ji-1 nodded slowly. "They've clearly gone to extraordinary lengths to maintain this facade. The question is, what are they hiding that's worth this much effort?" "I have another theory," Taiho said, sending one final data burst. "Look at their global communication patterns. They're maintaining this primitive appearance in every major population center. This isn't just a few isolated facilities. It's a coordinated planetary effort." "You think their entire civilization is in on this deception?" "It has to be. The level of coordination required. They must have been planning this for generations. Every new piece of technology they reveal to the galaxy is carefully chosen to maintain the illusion of normal development." The implications were staggering. an entire species working together to hide their true capabilities from the rest of the galaxy. The resources, the planning, the sheer scale of the deception was almost impossible to comprehend. "Keep watching," Jai-1 advised. "But be careful. If they've gone to these lengths to hide their technology, they must have serious reasons for doing so, and they probably won't appreciate being discovered." Tai-Ho looked out at the Earth, seemingly peaceful and primitive from his vantage point. But now he knew better. Beneath that carefully crafted exterior lurked capabilities that could change the balance of power in the galaxy. "I'll continue monitoring," he agreed. "But Jai-1, if I'm right about this, we may be dealing with something far more significant than just hidden technology. The humans aren't just deceiving us. They're preparing for something. And whatever it is, they don't want anyone to see it coming." The quantum channel fell silent as both researchers contemplated the magnitude of what they'd discovered. On the planet below, billions of humans continued their daily routines, maintaining their elaborate charade of technological simplicity. But now they had an audience that was starting to see through the act. The discovery changed everything. What had started as unusual energy readings had led Tai-Ho to something far more significant. His observation vessel's advanced scanning equipment had detected a network of underground facilities, so vast it defied belief. These weren't just isolated bunkers or research stations. They were entire cities hidden beneath the surface. Tai-Ho spent hours mapping the underground complexes. They spanned beneath entire continents, connected by transport systems that didn't appear on any official scans. The technology housed within these facilities was far beyond what humans should possess according to their classification level. "This can't wait," he muttered, initiating a secure connection to Confederation headquarters. Within moments, Senior Analyst He-Yun's hologram appeared in his command center. "This better be important, Scout Tai-Ho," she said, her expression stern. "You're using an emergency channel." "Look at these scans," he replied, transmitting the data. "The underground network. It's beyond anything we imagined. They have facilities that stretch for thousands of kilometers." He-Yun's expression changed as she reviewed the information. "How did we miss this? They've masked it well. The energy signatures are contained, and they're using some kind of shielding technology we've never seen before. But the deeper scans don't lie. They're experimenting with particles we've only theorized about." He sent another burst of data, showing the readings from what appeared to be a massive research facility beneath the Antarctic ice. "Their quantum computing capabilities exceed our own estimates by centuries. They're manipulating matter at the subatomic level with precision that should be impossible for their development stage." "Show me more," He-Yun demanded, her professional detachment slipping slightly. Tai-Ho brought up a three-dimensional map of the underground network. The complexes are interconnected. They have transport systems moving at speeds that suggest gravity manipulation, power plants using energy sources we don't understand, manufacturing facilities producing technology that doesn't match anything in their surface infrastructure. "And they're hiding all of this?" He-Yun asked. "Maintaining a primitive appearance on the surface while operating this advanced network underground." "Exactly. The deception is incredible in its scope. They must have been planning this for generations. Every piece of primitive technology they display to the galaxy seems carefully chosen to maintain their cover." He-Yun was quiet for a long moment, studying the data. Finally, she spoke. "This report is now classified at the highest level. Continue observation, but maintain absolute stealth protocols. We can't risk them discovering that we've detected their underground network." "There's more," Tai-Ho added. "The facilities. They're not just research stations. Some of them appear to be manufacturing centers. They're producing something on a massive scale, but I can't determine what." "Keep watching," He-Yun ordered. "But be extremely careful. If the humans have managed to hide this level of technology from us, they must have extraordinary security measures in place." Tai-Ho nodded, but a thought had been nagging at him. "He-Yun, what if this isn't just about hiding their advancement? The scale of these facilities, the resources involved. They're preparing for something. What do you mean? Look at the pattern of the complexes. They're not just scattered randomly. They're positioned strategically. Some are near major population centers, others in remote locations, but they all seem to be part of a larger plan. Hyun's hologram flickered as she processed this information. Continue gathering data, but don't take any unnecessary risks. If the humans detect your presence, they won't, Taeho assured her. I'm maintaining full stealth protocols. As the communication ended, Taeho returned to his scans. The underground network stretched out below him like a hidden web, pulsing with energy signatures that shouldn't exist. Whatever the humans were preparing for, they had gone to extraordinary lengths to keep it secret. His ship's sensors detected another massive power surge from one of the facilities. The energy readings were off the charts, suggesting experiments with forces that even the Confederation barely understood. Yet on the surface, humans continued their daily lives, maintaining their carefully crafted image of a developing civilization. The deception was perfect in its simplicity: hide their true capabilities in plain sight, while building something massive underground. But what were they building? And more importantly, why? Taeho had a feeling he was only beginning to uncover the truth. As his ship continued its silent observation, he couldn't shake the sense that he was watching the preparation stages of something momentous. Something that would change the galaxy forever. If anyone ever discovered what was really happening beneath Earth's surface. A routine scan of the asteroid belt between Mars and Jupiter changed everything. Taeho had been searching for any signs of human mining operations, expecting to find primitive automated collectors or basic processing stations. Instead, his sensors detected something that made his blood run cold. At first, he thought it was a malfunction. The readings suggested massive structures hidden among the asteroids, but they seemed to flicker in and out of existence. After recalibrating his instruments 3 times, he realized the truth. The structures weren't flickering. They were hidden behind advanced cloaking technology that made his finest sensors struggle to maintain a lock. Computer, enhance scan pattern Delta 7, he commanded, adjusting the detection algorithms. The image slowly stabilized, revealing something that shouldn't exist. Shipyards, massive ones, hidden in plain sight among the asteroids, protected by cloaking fields more sophisticated than anything in the Confederation's arsenal. Taeho watched in stunned silence as massive vessels moved between the facilities, their hulls gleaming with an alien metal he'd never seen before. "This is impossible," he whispered, recording every detail. The ships featured propulsion systems unlike anything in the galactic database. No visible engines, no radiation signatures, just smooth hulls that somehow moved through space with impossible grace. He counted at least 30 major construction facilities, each capable of building vessels larger than anything in the Confederation fleet. The scale of the operation was staggering. This wasn't some recent development. The infrastructure suggested decades, perhaps centuries of careful planning and construction. Taeho began documenting everything in his encrypted log. "The humans haven't just been hiding their technology," he wrote, his fingers trembling slightly. "They're preparing for something massive. The scale of these operations suggests decades of development, all completely hidden from galactic observation." A movement caught his attention. One of the larger vessels was emerging from a construction bay, its hull somehow absorbing light rather than reflecting it. Taeho's sensors could barely track it as it maneuvered through the asteroid field with impossible precision. He zoomed in on the construction process itself. Automated systems moved with perfect coordination, assembling ships using methods he couldn't even begin to understand. The humans had somehow managed to industrialize their entire asteroid belt without anyone noticing. "Computer, begin detailed analysis of vessel design patterns," he ordered. The results were puzzling. These weren't simple transport ships or exploration vessels. Their design suggested military capability, but not in any conventional sense. No visible weapons, no standard defense systems. Just smooth, perfect hulls made of that strange, light-absorbing material. Taiho's hands moved quickly over his control panel as he documented everything. The humans had been classified as a primitive species barely capable of reaching their own moon. Yet here they were, operating a hidden fleet that could probably outmatch the entire Confederation armada. A new vessel caught his attention, larger than the others. As it emerged from its construction bay, Taiho's sensors detected energy readings that defied physics as he understood it. The ship seemed to bend space around itself, moving without any visible means of propulsion. "They're not just building ships," he added to his log. "They're developing technology that should be impossible. Every vessel I'm seeing incorporates principles we haven't even theorized yet." Something about the whole operation felt urgent. The shipyards were working at full capacity, producing vessels at an alarming rate. Whatever the humans were preparing for, they seemed to believe time was running out. Taiho considered his options carefully. This discovery was too significant to keep to himself, but reporting it would change everything. The Confederation would never allow such a massive hidden fleet to exist without intervention. As he watched another impossible ship glide silently through the asteroid belt, Taiho made his decision. This information had to be handled carefully. The humans had gone to extraordinary lengths to hide their true capabilities. If they detected any hint that they'd been discovered, he shuddered at the thought. A species capable of building this fleet in secret, developing technology centuries ahead of the Confederation, would not react well to being exposed. "Computer, maximum encryption protocols," he ordered, beginning a new log entry. The humans weren't just hiding technology anymore. They were preparing for something on a galactic scale. The only question was, what could be so significant that it required this level of secret preparation? As his ship drifted silently among the asteroids, Taiho continued watching the hidden shipyards at work. Each new vessel that emerged told the same story. The humans were ready for something big. And whatever it was, they had decided the entire galaxy needed to remain unaware until the moment they chose to reveal themselves. The encrypted data stream took 3 hours to reach Intelligence Officer Sung Min's secure terminal. Taiho had compiled everything: the underground facilities, the hidden fleet, and most importantly, the patterns that connected it all. He knew he needed help making sense of the bigger picture. Sung Min's response was immediate. "This goes beyond anything we've encountered. Meet me in virtual space. Secure Channel 7. Minutes later, their holographic avatars faced each other in a protected digital environment. Taiho could see the concern on Sung Min's face as they began reviewing the evidence together. "Look at this timeline," Sung Min said, pulling up a holographic display. "Every technological advancement the humans have shown us follows a perfect progression curve. Too perfect. Like they planned each revelation," Taiho agreed. "Each new technology they've displayed to the galaxy seems carefully chosen." Sung Min nodded, bringing up more data. Their primitive combustion vehicles, their basic space program, their seemingly inefficient power plants. It's all staged. They're not just hiding their advancement. They've orchestrated a planetary-scale masquerade. The evidence was overwhelming once they started connecting the dots. The humans had created an elaborate facade, maintaining the appearance of a developing civilization while operating far more advanced technology in secret. "But here's what really concerns me," Sung Min said, highlighting a series of patterns. "The timing of their technological revelations. They always seem to happen just when we expect them, matching our models for species development perfectly." Taiho felt a chill as he realized what that meant. They know about us. They've been studying the Confederation's expectations and tailoring their visible development to match. "Exactly," Sung Min confirmed. "They've known about us and other galactic civilizations for far longer than we've been watching them. Every primitive technology we observe on the surface is a carefully crafted prop in their performance." They spent hours analyzing the deception. The humans had created a vast network of false infrastructure, maintaining outdated technology on the surface, while their real operations continued underground and in hidden space facilities. Look at their global communications, some men pointed out. The primitive internet they show us is just a front. They must have a much more advanced network hidden beneath it. Even their conflicts and political divisions seem staged. Taiho added, like they're putting on a show of being a divided, developing species. The scale of the deception was almost impossible to comprehend. Billions of humans, all participating in an elaborate charade, presenting a carefully crafted image to the galaxy while hiding their true capabilities. But why? Taiho asked. Why go to such lengths to appear primitive? Sung Min's expression was grave. Think about it. If you were developing advanced technology and discovered other civilizations watching you, what would you do? Especially if you didn't know their intentions. Hide everything, Taiho realized. Make yourself appear harmless while building up your defenses in secret. And that's exactly what they've done. But this level of coordination, the resources required to maintain this deception, they must have been preparing for something specific. They reviewed more data, energy signatures that suggested impossible technology, manufacturing capabilities that dwarfed anything the Confederation possessed, and evidence of scientific understanding far beyond their supposed level. They're not just hiding, Sung Min concluded. They're waiting, building their strength in secret, while the galaxy dismisses them as primitive. The implications were staggering. The humans hadn't just fooled the Confederation. They had orchestrated perhaps the greatest deception in galactic history. Every primitive rocket launch, every crude satellite, every seemingly inefficient piece of technology was part of their carefully maintained illusion. We can't report this, Sung Min finally said. Not yet. If the humans have gone to these lengths to hide their true nature, exposing them could provoke a response we're not prepared for. Taiho agreed. The humans had proven themselves masters of deception, patient enough to maintain their facade for generations. Whatever they were preparing for, they clearly weren't ready to reveal themselves to the galaxy. As their virtual meeting ended, both officers knew they were now part of the human secret. They had glimpsed behind the curtain of humanity's greatest performance. And the truth was both fascinating and terrifying. The question that haunted them wasn't how the humans had achieved this deception, but why. What could be so important that an entire species would choose to hide their true nature from the galaxy? The answer, they suspected, would change everything. Taiho's scan of Jupiter's moons revealed something that made him question everything. Hidden beneath the ice of Europa, perfectly concealed from standard scans, was a weapons platform of extraordinary power. Similar installations dotted the solar system, forming a defensive grid that could only be detected with the most sophisticated sensors. He needed an expert opinion. Defense analyst Minna received his encrypted data package with priority clearance. I found something that changes everything, Taiho transmitted through their secure channel. The humans haven't just hidden their technology. They've fortified their entire solar system. Minna's hologram appeared in his command center, her expression serious as she studied the scans. Show me everything. Taiho brought up a three-dimensional map of the solar system, highlighting the defensive installations he'd discovered. They're everywhere. Weapons platforms disguised as asteroids. Defense systems hidden within moons. Energy barriers that can be activated to isolate entire sections of space. These aren't random placements, Minna observed, studying the pattern. Look at how they're positioned. They're protecting something specific. She was right. The defensive grid formed concentric layers, becoming denser as it approached Earth. But the pattern suggested they weren't just protecting their home planet. The outer layer could stop a fleet, Minna noted. But these inner defenses, they're designed to contain something. The humans aren't just hiding their technology. They're guarding something they consider vital enough to maintain this extensive deception. Taiho showed her more scans. The weapons systems are unlike anything we've encountered. They seem designed to affect space itself. Space-time manipulation weapons, Minna confirmed. Technology we've only theorized about. The humans have not only developed it but built an entire defensive network around it. They spent hours analyzing the defensive grid. Every new detail revealed more sophisticated technology. The humans had created a layered defense system that could respond to threats from any direction, all while remaining completely invisible to standard scans. "Look at these power readings," Minna pointed out. "These aren't just defensive installations. They could be converted into offensive weapons capable of reaching far beyond this solar system. But they've kept them powered down," Tahoe added. "Just enough energy to maintain their cloaking fields, which means they're waiting for something specific," Minna concluded. "These defenses weren't built to fight any current threat. They're preparation for something the humans believe is coming." The implications were disturbing. An entire species had not only hidden their true technological capabilities, but had armed themselves with weapons beyond anything known to the Confederation, all while maintaining the appearance of a primitive civilization. "There's more," Tahoe said, showing another scan. "The defensive grid isn't complete. They're still building, still adding new installations. Whatever they're preparing for, they don't think they have much time left." Minna studied the construction patterns. These new installations, they're not just weapons platforms. Some of them appear to be designed to contain or redirect massive energy discharges. "Like they're expecting something catastrophic," Tahoe suggested. "Or preparing to unleash something themselves," Minna countered. Either way, the scale of these defenses suggests they're protecting something of immense importance. They reviewed more data: automated repair systems that could rebuild damaged installations, energy shields that could isolate entire regions of space, and weapons that could theoretically tear apart the fabric of reality itself. "We need to be extremely careful with this information," Minna finally said. "If the humans have gone to these lengths to hide their defensive capabilities, they must have serious reasons for doing so." Tahoe agreed. The humans hadn't just built defenses. They had created a technological fortress while convincing the galaxy they were barely capable of reaching their own moon. As his ship drifted silently through the solar system, Tahoe couldn't shake the feeling that he was seeing only part of the picture. The defensive grid was impressive, but it felt like preparation for something bigger, something the humans believed was worth deceiving the entire galaxy to protect. The warning signs were clear: an advanced civilization hiding behind a mask of primitive technology, armed with weapons that shouldn't exist, preparing for something they couldn't or wouldn't reveal to the galaxy. The question wasn't whether the humans were hiding something vital. That much was obvious. The real question was, what could be so important that it required this level of protection? What secret could justify this elaborate deception? As Tahoe continued his observation, he knew he was watching the countdown to something momentous. The humans were ready for something, and when it finally happened, the galaxy would discover just how thoroughly they had been deceived. The silence in Tahoe's observation vessel felt heavy as he stared at the completed report on his screen. Weeks of investigation, countless hours of analysis, and collaboration with multiple experts had led to this moment. The document before him would change everything. He reviewed the key findings one last time: the hidden fleet in the asteroid belt, the underground facilities spanning continents, the defensive grid protecting secrets humans had kept hidden from the galaxy. Each discovery painted a clearer picture of an incredible truth. The humans weren't a primitive species struggling to achieve spaceflight. They were an advanced civilization orchestrating the greatest deception in galactic history. His finger hovered over the transmission button. The implications of sending this report were staggering. It would forever change how the Confederation viewed Earth and its inhabitants. The carefully maintained classification of humans as a developing species would be shattered. But something deeper troubled him. Throughout his investigation, one question kept surfacing: what could be so important that an entire species would go to such extraordinary lengths to keep it hidden? He pulled up the sensor logs one last time, watching recordings of the massive ships moving silently through the asteroid belt. Their impossible technology, their perfect coordination, their careful concealment. Everything pointed to a civilization preparing for something monumental. "Computer, final analysis," he commanded. calculate probable Confederation response to full disclosure of human technological capabilities. The computer's response was quick and concerning. High probability of immediate containment protocol activation. Standard procedure for discovery of deceptive advanced civilizations would trigger full investigation and possible military response. Tai-Ho leaned back in his chair, considering the implications. If he submitted a full report, the Confederation would be forced to act. They couldn't ignore a species that had successfully hidden such advanced technology. The carefully maintained peace would be shattered. But there was something about the humans' deception that didn't feel threatening. They had the capability to challenge the Confederation openly. Their hidden fleet and weapons proved that. Instead, they chose to hide, to maintain an elaborate illusion of primitiveness while preparing for something. He thought about the defensive grid, carefully positioned to protect not just Earth, but something specific. The humans weren't just hiding their technology. They were guarding something they considered vital enough to deceive the entire galaxy. Computer, create new report classification. Ultra-restricted access, he ordered. Limited distribution to Senior Analysis Team Delta only. The computer acknowledged the command. This would ensure the report reached only a select few within the Confederation, those capable of understanding its significance without triggering an immediate military response. Tai-Ho began editing the report, carefully choosing his words. The human secret needed to be preserved, at least for now. Whatever they were protecting, whatever they were preparing for, forcing them to reveal themselves prematurely could have catastrophic consequences. He included everything he had discovered but framed it as a preliminary investigation rather than a final conclusion. This would give the senior analysts time to process the information and consider responses beyond standard containment protocols. As he worked, Tai-Ho's thoughts drifted to the billions of humans going about their daily lives on the planet below. Every one of them was part of this massive deception, maintaining the illusion of a primitive civilization, while their real work continued in secret. The scope of their dedication was almost impossible to comprehend. Generation after generation of humans had maintained this charade, presenting a carefully crafted image to the galaxy while advancing their technology in secret. Finally, the report was ready. Tai-Ho read it one last time, ensuring every detail was precise without being provocative. This wasn't just a standard survey report anymore. It was perhaps the most important document he had ever written. With a deep breath, he pressed the transmission button. The encrypted data package would reach only those who needed to know, those who could handle this information with the delicacy it required. As the transmission confirmation appeared on his screen, Tai-Ho felt a strange mix of relief and anticipation. He had done what he could to protect both the humans' secret and the Confederation's interests. Looking out at the blue planet below, he couldn't help but wonder if he had made the right choice. Some secrets, he realized, were better left unexplored, at least for now. Whatever the humans were hiding, whatever they were preparing for, they would reveal it when they were ready. Until then, they would continue their elaborate performance, playing the role of a primitive species while their true work continued in secret, and Tai-Ho would watch, waiting to see what would emerge when the humans finally decided to show their true nature to the galaxy.